so yesterday we did a channeling, and we were looking for a goal about human, like an ordinary human, space travel into, the cosmos as we know it. And we gathered a lot of detailed information that in this video I would love to share this with you, and like to share this with you. And one thing about sharing is that somehow when I receive information or after the channelings, I just want to share it so it doesn't stay in me. It's been set out. If somebody needs this information, or if sometime I may want to look over this information again, I will have all the material that I can look for. So what do we understood by space travel by ordinary humans is as follows. So basically what we asked is, can a human travel into space? And they said that in normal conditions humans cannot travel into space without a special environmental technology. And by the way, now I recall back this information and try to explain it to you in understandable ways. So basically it wasn't word to word exactly said as I am saying right now, but still you will get the idea. So in other words, what I would say is that in such cases detailed information requires, when somebody is in the channeling area where somebody channels, and if you are looking for a detailed information, you have to ask these detailed questions. Otherwise it's just an interpretation as what the being said. The human body is not designed to be an interstellar traveler. And what they said is that normally many beings are not interstellar traveler. They say when it's talk about areas or space areas, the Enrico always say space and time, space-time zone. And by this understanding, what I mean is how they identify it. They say in our time and space that we are right here now, which basically from my understanding means that we understand it like, yes, this is the space around us, but they don't classify it as space around us, they classify it as space and time around us, meaning that each space around us, the cosmos and everything, is with another identifier time. So in other words, all the space-time around us is a space-time. So it's not like space or emptiness, it's space-time. And each area, each space location has a unique energy vibration in a way that is being identified by which location you are talking and by which time zone you are talking. So in other words, space-time. So this is this space-time area. And they say that humans are not capable of doing interstellar travels because of the physical specifications that humans have. Basically what they said, that nearly 11 kilometers outside of the atmosphere of Earth's atmosphere is it's a strong cosmic radiance that can distort your body, that can start to getting what they said is like the radiance these radiance go through every cell and atom of your body, this cosmic radiance, and this radiance causes you to lose lots of your living energy, your life force energy, and this causes you also to get quickly elder, and your body just can tear you apart. What I said is like basically in a far interstellar travelers, human without this shielding defense can live like for a day and a half, and instantly it's like if you go there and quickly back, you can probably do it, but there are like space zones where it's impossible even for any being to enter, and there are like closed space zones in cosmos where this cosmic radiance is in high levels. And what I saw in the images of this cosmic radiance is that this cosmic radiance is like a black, dense, active energy that can cause undescribable feelings or undescribable effects to any matter, to any matter. What is matter? Like metal, like skin for us, and so on. And they said to do interstellar travels, you need a special environment and conditions for beings like us. And our beings are classified, what they said is Schumann resonance was my interpretation, but we have this from visual, what I saw, energy fog around us, like energy environment around us. And this energy environment around us, like nature, trees, they create, and the earth creates a special energy environment which is really comfortable for human beings as us. And they said that planets in such energy form, they can be also desert-like planets. They can easily also be inhabited by us because their planet resonance, energy resonance, allows us to be there. There are different planets where the resonance disallows us to be there, but from their perspective, they said also that there are planets, and planets communicate with each other who are also in the same resonance, meaning that a planet has also brothers and sisters with whom, like a family members, they communicate with. So this was just the intro of this communication. And they said also about interstellar travel is that you need technology which has a special it could be a Schumann resonance. It has a Schumann resonance, and this Schumann resonance in a spaceship, for example, if it's being created, it provides the energy that a human body needs, and also this energy protects the human from, it's like a shielding from a cosmic radiance. And then I remembered, like Pleiadians in one channeling said that they said that the first thing when this earth will open to global cosmic family reunion, the first thing that they will build here will be informational energetical shielding which blocks all sorts of cosmic radiance to the planet. So continuing yesterday's channeling was, and they said also, okay, then the friend who was asking questions to the being said, but are there like other humans that go in outer space, and like can they pick us up, for example? And they said that human Earth atmosphere is highly guarded from intruders, and everything is in the sake of everything is controlled by the lunar orbiting station, which basically is the huge moon that we see in the sky. And everything is controlled from there. All in and out travels are controlled from there. And what they say is that everything has to be arranged. Everything has to be with allowance and clearance, and everything that. But these things are not controlled by humans. These allowances are not controlled by humans. And what they said is basically that this allowance can be attained by any person that lives on planet. That a moon, the orbital station, the moon, is a neutral zone, what we understood from the channeling, and everything in the neutral zone is controlled by other civilization which works with which the job here is in the moon to keep the, because there are many other races out there. There are many other races out there, and what I said earlier in the history, those many races were warring over Earth, were warring here because they have many other interests here, and some of them may be conflicting. So they made a neutral zone, the moon, lunar neutral zone, in which they take a look over this neutrality, and so the other races can work here by the laws that they put out and don't have a conflict with each other. So basically it's a neutral zone, and this neutral zone is also neutral to humans, and they don't classify you as a military person, they don't classify you as any person. They classify you through a free will. is this your free will? Is this your heart? What I understood, they are heart energy guided. They are always keeping neutrality. They are always neutral to all races, all beings. They don't judge them. They are neutral. For example, if some kind of a reptilian race wants to do experiments here on Earth and work with the Earth, some kind of secret governmental structure, they're okay. You're here to do, but we will give you this allowance or control that you don't do stuff that they put out there, which is not aligning or not in harmony with other beings that are here. So basically, no interstellar war zone on Earth. I'm sorry that I put it really complicated. And what they said is that when we started talking about the Pleiadians that can come and pick us up, for example, they said that the Enrico said that those which will come, they have to go to the moon and do a conversation there. They will not intervene in the Earth space zone, this atmosphere, because if it's not agreed to do this, if it's not allowance to do this or clearance to do this. So what they said is that first thing they have to have a clearance, but this is on this planet. And what I understood what the being was telling, that on any planet there are clearances about entering an interstellar invasion, for example, that you can invade in the Earth atmosphere. You have to have a clearance to this. So and to have this clearance, you need to talk and you need to communicate with the Lunar Orbiter Station, a special section which arranges those clearances, which talks, and they are oriented by the free will and they're oriented with neutrality. And then the next interesting thing what was coming started to happen. And then they asked and they recorded the questioner's voice. And they asked, why do you want to do an interstellar travels? Like, what do you want to do? And they recorded his voice and his story. It was like maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes long, word to word. And then they said, okay, recording is done. We will forward it to the clearances. But what we want to say is that everything is controlled. And the next thing what was starting to happen was that the moon station has a special transports that they use to pick up humans from Earth. They use special transportation triangle ships. They're not big, they're small, maybe 3 to 5 persons can fit in, but they are specially designed to do transportation from Earth to Moon and back. They are specially designed to do this. And they said that there is a section on the Moon in which all humans firstly are taken. It's like something in the airport. You're taken there, and what I understood from that is that there are many humans that are being transported to the moon. But last time when we channeled about the moon, I remember they said that on the moon there is no human base made. Everything is owned by other races, but no humans on moon. And what I do remember from them was that they have a huge conflict with some kind of a USA Air Force, but it's not the known Air Force. It's a USA military cosmical alliance, some kind of a, maybe it would be some kind of USA secret space program, maybe. And these ships, I will call it like a USA secret space program, but it's not definitely owned only by USA, like governmental. It's a created space program from some kind of a corporation, and that they pick up all human interstellar travelers and question them and talk with them and pick them up for questioning. And also there is a military complex that also pick up for questioning the people are being picked up. So what I wanted to say is that from the beings we understood that there is a secret USA secret space program that has military ships, military saucers, military, not like military, maybe a designed for special tasks, and also militarized a space program which orbits around the Earth and orbits also in our solar system, that they control and watch everything closely, what is happening in the space program, and they pick all information up in the space program. And what they said on the lunar surface is that they have a huge conflict with them and also the USA, because they are looking for the ability to dominate this solar system, and this is totally not in interest of the neutral zone, in which, what I understood, they are having conflict this like furs up, and trying to somehow, not trying to, but are just saying you will not dominate this planet, you will not dominate this space and time, this solar system, or maybe the solar cluster or whatever. So it's only nearly the beginning of the information which I wanted to share. And what they said from the moon surface, the Enrico channel, and they said that normally how things happen for a human to be in an interstellar program, to be an interstellar traveler, is you first agree with the lunar surface, with the lunar command, for example, lunar tourism command center, like in aviation. They talk to you, they question you, and you agree, and you decide, and they agree, they decide that, okay, you are allowed to do interstellar traveler. And first thing what they look upon you is whether you are owned by any secret programs, ownership. And ownerships are put into humans energetically. Now this is the interesting thing. And we are in the idea that all information is being stored in like a CD, like a disk, like a hard drive, like a solid state disk, whatever the microchip may be. But the beings on the lunar surface, the technology, what I saw is that they store information in your energy body. And how this works is a tiny glimpse of energy that has been stored in your energy body can contain absolutely everything about you, about your planet, all the planet structure, all the planet situation, and nearly entire cosmos. Everything can be observed from this small glimpse of like an energy chip, maybe an energetical chip. Let's call it like this. So and how this works is that this energy vibration that has been stored, like energy particles that has been stored in your energy body, they contain like an energy field that connects with Earth energy field, and that is like in a resonance. When you look upon it telepathically, you instantly like start read a book, but it's not like all information is stored in there. That energy which is in there has the information about connections to like another energy database, like for example, origin of you, or origin of the Earth, origin of your space program, original of your belongings. And like in a small cluster, all information can be accessed. It's like the small cluster can allow you to telepathically access the network of information in which it's aligned to, or which is stored to, or which is connected to. And this is what like a telepathical reading. And I was like, wow, this is really amazing. How can they do this? Oh, I don't see anything. How can they do this? And that was interesting. So now the interesting part. When you become involved in space programs, or you belong to another race, you have energetical this information stored inside of your energy body. And when you, as we understood from the beings, that we and the friend who was asking questions to the channel, we are neutral. We don't belong to any military secret space programs. We don't belong to any other. We're like a free human. And they give this passport, this energy chip inside of you, this energy storage inside of you, which represents the belongings of you. And if you agreed with the neutral zone, the lunar orbital station, that you are the belongings of agreement with them that you are having this interstellar passport and interstellar insurance policy. But these were the words that were interpreted by my brain. But basically what it means, I will describe it a little bit later, so I'm just sorry to use like ground level words. But what it means basically is, if you become a human that does interstellar travel and you have no belongings to, that means that you are like a beggar wandering around the cosmos without any belongings or any connections back to your origin, which means that anybody can just take you and steal you if it's an aggressive race, for example, and just take you and do whatever they want to you. Like you're like not belonging to any alliance or any corporation. You're not belonging to, but when you have this chip inside of you, when you have this energetical information inside stored of you with this passport that was belonged to agreement, it means that any secret governmental organization that picks up you, they read this information and they're like, okay, he's a neutral person. They arranged to have this neutral agreement. Okay, I will do another trip outside. They are part of this neutral agreement, and what it means is that also the lunar moon orbital station takes coverage for you, meaning that, for example, if you do an interstellar travel and land on an island, which is basically a hostile island, and somebody picks you up or takes you away or locks you up, for example, they have this ability to like take you out of that space and time and put you back on the lunar surface and put you back down on Earth. It's like a neutral agreement policy of your belongings, and I believe these type of policies are with many other civilizations. I believe this is a standard. Wait, I wrote somebody. This is a standard. For example, in my point of view, is somebody, you go into the cosmos and you go into a unknown zone, and there are like rebels there that steal you and try to do something bad to you. The neutral zone policy will protect you. For example, they will instantly see that you are interstellar neutral traveler, like a tourist, and they will instantly see that you have this background, and they will not do anything to you. Or if by accident something happens to you, the lunar surface will take care of you and pick you up. And this is what I said also, that this secret space, USA secret space program, the colonized solar system, with the humans who colonize the solar system, if they see that you have this informational field, they will instantly know that you are being covered, and they will not touch you or maybe just ask you questions without any violence at all. So they have this secret policy there. This was like, man, there were only 2 channels in my lifetime, maybe more, but definitely I remember this feeling. And it's like, what the f is this information? What the f is this information? It's like, it's hard for me to believe in this information. But just today I watched, there is this Corey Good online, which I recommend to watch, because many of channeling information which was about cosmical, this stuff, he brought confirmations to it, and I was like amazed, how can somebody actually tell it without knowing it, the same confirmations about the interstellar, about the Germans, about everything. It's like, wow, amazing, so amazing. And I recommend to watch Corey Good. And just today I watched one of the episodes, and I was like, I have a full confirmation about this information. But I will continue to talk forward about what was then happening. And then the being said that for you to become in this, you need to have agreement with the orbital station. In other words, if you don't have the agreement and you do an interstellar travel, military can steal you, take you away, block you away, lock you up, and do all sorts of things, because they accept that you belong to them. They accept that you belong to these humans that are here on Earth, and they can do whatever they wish to do to you. So in other words, you're having a neutral tourist passport with insurances that you got from the lunar surface, lunar orbital station. Um, what happens later is that they agree that we receive these informational chips, and these chips stand right here like a line on the right shoulder, like a line, energy field. And we receive from that channel these chips, which basically said that we are interested into interstellar travelers, which basically means that what I understood from the channel means that we are being looked upon as a possibility that we can have interstellar travels, and also we are referred to like how you say this, like we have the allowance to talk. Maybe this we have allowance to like talk with them, but they said later that I was running out of energy to do the channel. They said that okay, because of lack of energy, we will not shift to lunar surface the portal, which the area which there are beings that will talk about this and tell us, and tell to that person in particular the information regarding to describing the situation and describing the system, describing the rules, describing what you need to prepare for out of Earth interstellar travel. Which basically I mean by a lot would be an interstellar travel to the surface of the moon, the inner bases of the moon. To have more glimpses of the moon and what I'm talking right now, you have to definitely watch my previous videos about the lunar or moon station channeling. So talking about that, and they said that there will be beings, and we classify the day like 2 or 3 days later, but I believe it can change also depending on myself, that we will have this communication in a more detailed way, that they will describe the situation, what they should be prepared, and like a more closer talk just about this topic. And then then there was more information to it. And there was so this is the point of nearly most of the information talking about how you can become an interstellar travel and what are the protections. And then they said that the being said, the friend said to the being that, is it possible to go to the past? And they said yes, there is like it's possibility to go to a specified history and time zones of the Earth, but not to all of them. And also that every time zone is controlled by a governmental structure, like a neutrality zone, or beings or corporations or space programs, that first by entering this time zone you have to first go to them, and they classify you as an interstellar time traveler, and they classify you from which area and time you are from, and then they are like giving you allowance to do a specific things or to disallow to do a specific things, basically give you clearances to do and disallow you to do other stuff. And they said, well, is it possible to take technology back to the history? And they said, definitely not. It's not allowed to take technology back to the history. And what they said is that each space and time zone has a different unique energy vibration. For example, for the period of like 500 years, we have a distinct, unique energy vibration, and everything that exists in this energy vibration has a distinct and a unique energy vibration around it. So basically, if you take a technology, for example, like a computer, and put it back in history, it's not allowed, because that energy of that object, whatever, is taken back from what I understood, we as here is like a stunning energy, like something like that looks like a lightning, but it's not lightning, like a dense, like stunned energy. And if we take objects with that energy back in the past, the object's energy can put evolutionary signatures that change the overall energy vibration which is in that space and time, and that energy can change like the movement of the space and time to a completely different direction, which basically is like something like a virus that can spread over that energy vibration and take the evolution in a completely different step, which basically is not allowed. So basically what I understood, if going back to history, it's like nearly no technology at all, or technology that's harmful with energy, harmful without harming or without harmful energy. And also what they said, can we take an object from the history like billions of years ago and like a rock or like a plant and put it right here? And they said basically because of the difference of the history's energy, which is more clouded like, balanced like, soft like energy, if you take objects with that energy and put it here in this space and time, it can cause like a matter disruption or matter disappearance, because that energy is so different that it can jump out of your time and space from this space that we have right here, which basically put me a little more understanding. I have heard somewhere like that somebody has taken objects from history, and when they come back those objects are gone. And somebody was saying also that my father said that it was like a space and time jump or something with a ship, and then a modern ship, and then like an medieval times like pirates attacked them, and they shot them down with their guns, but they have the crew on them, but they attacked them with swords and something like this, like a medieval time. And their bodies were there, everything was there, and when they come ashore or were about to come to shore, the bodies were gone, but the bloods were still there. And they took these bloods to DNA test, and they said, well, something like this is highly unique. We cannot find any DNA that matches like these blood vessels. Like, I have heard something like this, but which puts me to a greater understanding that every time and zone has a different energy vibration, and therefore it can cause all sorts of energy disruptions, energy effects. So, as I understood from this channeling, that interstellar travel for humans is possible to everybody if you are a free traveler, if you're not owned by any military, or if you're not owned by anybody else. And many times the lunar surface has asked the questions: who are you? Are you belongings of somebody else? And they are like, we're like, no, we're just individuals talking. We don't even have a work where we go to. And they're like, you're not American, you're not from USA, like a military compound? No. Okay, then we can talk. Because what I understood, the USA wants to dominate the moon, and they want to dominate the solar system, like a warlike. They want to build like a warlike structure outside, and they are completely against this. And they have like, they have their eyes looked. They look upon this, I would say, tightly. So this was the information which I wanted to share. And now I'm looking forward what happens in the next 2 or 3 days. And then I said, I was talking for a man, it's hard for me to believe this information. It's really hard for me to believe this information. And he said, well, everything was really logical. Everything was interesting, because there was a lot more detailed information, like which barely I also don't remember. I will listen to this information. And it was like, it's so hard for me to believe in this information. And they said, like, well, what's so hard to believe? He said, like, I said, well, imagine we go and there's a triangle-shaped saucer appears in the sky. And only from that point, when I see it, I will say to myself, at this glimpse of a second, my entire life changed, totally changed. Because if a thing like that happens, or will happen, or already has happened, life goes in a completely different direction, and I'm just like, okay, this was interesting information. You can look upon it, you can think it over, you can find comparisons in your life, you can watch other like channels and or secret some kind of people that talk about this. You can compare this information, you can talk with this information, you can find logic to it. But like a visual evidence or a visual sighting or a comparing to all that is like amazing. It's, for example, we channel like dead people. We have all the information, like grounding information, like what was his name, what was he doing, and you know, all sorts of that information. You can, yeah, they said, yeah, the relatives say, yeah, this is him. But when you receive this information, it's like, man, crazy, it's getting crazy. In the same way, but such an information, this is, well, one lady said that I destroyed the Romans by looking on the moon. Now she looks on the moon completely differently. And so yeah, so thank you for watching. Enjoy this video. If you have questions, please write. Bye.